What's going on, Wolfpack Nation? We are back, y'all, for part 2 here of our Icepack 2023-2024 season preview, y'all. If you haven't checked out part 1 yet, make sure to go right back and do so and tune right back in here. But make sure, especially if you haven't checked out part 1, and especially if you haven't entered for our ticket giveaway yet, make sure to go and do that first and foremost. And how do you enter? It's very, very simple. Make sure that part 1 Icepack preview hits at least 50 likes. And then once we do that, then make sure to hit that free subscribe button and hit that notification bell and leave a comment in part 1 of our Icepack preview. And we will pick one of our subscribers who comments in that video to win 2 tickets and a parking pass to the NC State football versus VMI game this Saturday. So again, it's very simple. Do free of charge, 2 tickets and a parking pass up for grabs, y'all. Make sure you can go to part 1, hit that 50 likes mark. Subscribe if you haven't already. And again, make sure to leave a comment and we will pick one of them on Thursday night to be our winner. But with that being said, we are back once again here with Garrett, our captain for this year for the NC State Icepack. Looking forward to talking here a little bit about this Frozen Finley game, man. That was amazing last year, once in a lifetime to say the least. But first thing what you got to ask you about, Garrett, is I know that with the announcement of from Tom Dundon and the Hurricanes about the expansion of the PNC Arena facilities, that that how they pretty much said that within the next, I think it was like 10 years, I think it was, that they're going to be hosting another outdoor game, more likely at Carter Finley. So I mean, it's kind of crazy because I was sitting here, last year saying like, oh man, I got to go to this outdoor game. Like I got to go, to Hurricanes outdoor game and the Icepack outdoor game. Cause I mean, it's gotta be a once in a lifetime opportunity. But I mean, hearing that news about how that's, on the books, like how it's going to happen, at some point within the next 10 years, I mean, that's pretty cool, man. I mean, it may be a little bit of a bummer because it's like, man, I thought I was a part of like the one and only, like that was the only time it was ever going to happen. But I mean, I'm sure it's pretty cool. Hopefully by the time you have, family and kids, whatever that may be, by then you can bring it back and be like, hey, 10 years ago, I competed in this game too. I mean, it's pretty cool, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I saw that too. I mean, I think that's huge. I mean, even for like bringing in guys too. I mean, when that comes around the corner, people are going to start applying. I mean, they're going to want to be a part of it too. But 100%. I'm excited to see what that attendance looks like because that's going to be crazy. I already thought ours.
Yeah. Well, I mean, just to kind of talk a little bit about this previous one, which again I think we won 7-3, correct? Over UNC 7-3. Mm-hmm. I mean, so, and it was hilarious too. Oh man, it was so funny because obviously there was that viral video that went out of the one NC State fan that was fighting all these UNC fans, which I'm not necessarily gonna sit here and say that was okay or not okay, whatever. I'm just gonna say it was funny. But
actually,
UNC. Go ahead.
I saw that from the bench because
no way.
Yeah, so because I pointed it out because no one saw it, and I was like pointing out. I was like, oh, look at that. I mean, I don't know how I saw it, but it caught my eye.
Oh, that's hilarious. Yeah, no, well, and I think a lot of it probably started because I think it was like within like the first like 20 seconds of the game, UNC scored, and I know beside me there was these UNC fans that were talking all that smack, and then maybe 20 seconds later we scored and tied it up. And man, I remember me and my Tuffy Talk counterpart Greg were right beside each other, and man, when we scored, there was like the girlfriend or whoever of the guy that the UNC fan was talking all smack was like right between us and the UNC guy, and literally like we were like leaning on her, being like, "Oh, we star, let's go!" And that poor UNC girl was just like, "Okay, like I'm stuck in the middle here." I felt bad for her, but man, it was too much fun. It was great. But man, like to over 24,000 people showed up. I still remember that the Red and White shop had like a booth set up there with merchandise and stuff like that to give to sell. And I remember Coach Healy saying, oh yeah, like the owner Mario literally had to leave to go get more stuff because we had literally sold out of everything. And I mean, so between 24,000 sold out of all of our merchandise and literally had to go back and get more stuff. Like, talk to me about the impact on the program, man. Like, it's got to be huge. I mean, to say the least.
Yeah, I mean, there's all aspects of it. I can give you a couple examples. I think the first one is with just like even like our social media following, we actually hit 10K from that game. I think we're at like I just looked. I think it was like 11.4 right now. But I mean, if you probably asked me what we were at my freshman year, I don't even know if we hit like 300. I don't know. I really have no clue, but we never used to
Yeah,
post on there. It was like a post like every 3 months, but that's
yeah,
definitely changed. Guys coming in. I remember coach was saying like that game had our interest form going crazy. Like, we had a lot of guys that were like reaching out like, hey, how do I get, what should I do to apply and all that. So definitely just
yeah.
bringing guys in. I think some of the cool examples, this happened to me like probably like a good handful of times when I'm just like wearing an ice pack shirt. People would just come up and be like, hey, like, did you play in that game? And like, it's just like, yeah, I mean, it was
I
awesome.
love it.
But
I love it. Yeah, and kind of talk to me too, because this might be something that maybe non ice hockey players might not understand, but I mean I'm curious, so I'm going to ask it. But I always felt like, because there was two times I had the opportunity to play at the PNC Arena ice rink, and one time I revved, and I could definitely tell that. I don't know why, but there's definitely a different feel skating on PNC Arena ice compared to normal ice. I don't know what it is, just a different dig. Just I don't know exactly how to explain it, but it definitely feels different. Did you get that same feel on this ice as well? And I mean, do you have any idea how to explain the reasoning, what I'm talking about here? Like
no,
I don't know exactly what I'm talking
I
about,
know,
but it's
I
definitely
know
different.
exactly what you're saying. So I think what
Yeah.
PNC is obviously it's probably, I don't know how it really works, but it's definitely probably better ice. But they also let it sit out longer than we do. We usually go on when it's a little more wet, but there they let it like
Yeah.
sit out for a little bit, so it's like perfect ice.
Yeah.
And Carter Finley was a little bit different because like it wasn't. I mean, it's hot outside. It wasn't hot, but like it's a little warm
It
outside,
wasn't.
so it
Yeah.
almost felt like we were like digging in more. It was hot. I mean, I
Yeah.
felt like it wasn't like the best ice, but I mean, I don't
Yeah.
care. I don't care what the
Yeah.
ice is. If we didn't even have ice, I'd be out there.
I love it. Yeah. Well, and I mean, kind of talk to me, man. I mean, dude, like, I can't imagine, because again, I didn't have the opportunity, unfortunately, to be down at the ice level. But I mean, what a weird feeling to be on that ice and looking up like you're in Carter Finley Stadium and you're playing an ice hockey game. Like, I can't even wrap my head around what that would look like or feel like. Like the fact that
Yeah,
I'm sure you followed in-state football for quite some time, and I mean, like, thinking about how like all the plays that took place underneath this ice, and how literally I'm gliding on skates in the direction that this play was made. I mean, like something like that. Like,
no,
that's what I'd be thinking about, being the in-state nut that I am and a hockey guy. Like, talk me through that, man.
yeah. I mean, I know it wasn't like to where same amount of attendance they would get, but I think with like even
Sure.
just coming out onto the ice, it's awesome. Like we had both sides just so loud. Yeah, wolf
Yeah.
pack coming from both sides. I think it was
Yeah.
awesome. And I think one of the like coolest thing was like it's so different because like at PNC, like they're right up on you. Like the glass is right up on you. When you go out there, it's almost like
Right.
you're on an island because it's like a little bit elevated
Right.
and no one's right there. Like they're more spread out. So
Mm-hmm.
I was awesome.
Yeah, yeah, no, 100%, and I'm looking forward to happening once again. Whenever that does come, and hopefully by then we'll have a national championship or two in our
Oh
hands.
yeah.
So excited to see it, man. No, and again, that was an amazing experience for sure. Before we continue, I want to take a quick second to tell you about our sponsor, Flightland's Jessup Insurance Group, that has your whole world covered, with agents in 5 offices throughout Eastern North Carolina to help you decide how much coverage you need, offering policies for home and auto, recreational vehicles, commercial, crop, health, life, and employee benefits. They are able to combine options to find a comprehensive solution that works for you. Flightland's Jessup protects the things you love so you can spend less time worrying and more time enjoying them. Find them on Facebook and Instagram at Flightlands Jessup. You can also visit their webpage at www.flightlandsjessup.com. So please make sure to go and check them out. Kind of want to talk a little bit here as well, about this upcoming season here. So, by the time this recording happened, you guys would have played ECU, but it seems like it's almost like a tradition that like within like the first 3 games you guys play Liberty. Like, am I crazy, or does it seem like you guys always play Liberty very
It's,
early?
it's usually our first game. I don't know if
Right.
freshman year, but I know we did sophomore year and junior year our first game, and
Okay.
senior. Yeah, all three. Okay, yeah, yeah. So I think the past like 3 years have been the first game of the season. So I think with this one
Yeah.
it's a little bit different because we kind of get a feel before rather than just like going into that our first game.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah,
Yeah, and I mean, looking at this as well, I mean, we had mentioned this program in the first part a lot, but Penn State, you guys going on the road to Penn State, am I correct?
Yes. Yeah, we got two
Yeah.
games out there.
So so does Penn State club play at the Division 1 ice rink?
That I don't know.
Okay,
I
I was
would
gonna
think
say
so.
that'd be pretty cool if they do.
Or maybe. Yeah, I don't. I really don't know.
Okay. Yeah, that's something I'd be interested in. If I mean, if you guys play at the Penn
Oh,
State, ice hockey arena, I'd be so sick.
when I
Um,
was younger, I
yeah.
had when I was on AAA team, we played out there, and then I got to go to one of their Penn State games, and it was insane.
Oh,
The atmosphere and the whiteout is so awesome.
yeah. And then looking here, I mean, you guys go to Louisville as well, playing Louisville Cardinals. Did we typically play Louisville?
Yeah, I think we play them 2 times a year. We did last year
Okay.
twice.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, and then I mean, playing Texas A&M at home.
Yeah, that's
That's
new.
a new opponent, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. That's gonna be weird, but that's a club. That's a full club team, right? I mean, that's
Yeah. I don't
I
know
mean,
too
yeah,
much about them, but
yeah,
we played Dallas Baptist. I think we've played East Texas. So we played like 2 Texas schools, but not like a big name Texas like this.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So, but and I'm looking at it here. But so we play UNC. Let's see, 2 times. One at home, one at Invisalign Arena, one away at the Hillsborough Arena, and then we play them at home again. So 3 times. Okay, cool. So 3 times, and then we play once at PNC Arena.
Yep.
And man, one thing which I gotta say as well, which we didn't mention, speaking of awesome environments, but back when I was at State, like they didn't play, the game at PNC Arena, and I decided to go be a football equipment manager. But I always told the head coach at the time that like if they had those games at PNC Arena when I was in high school, I would have definitely thought once or twice about playing Icepack hockey just to play in State versus UNC game at PNC Arena. That's so sick. I love it. And I mean, because thinking about how much it's grown too, man. Like I think NC State always has had a good crowd at the PNC Arena games, but I think honestly the biggest change that I've seen over the years is UNC's fans have really shown up for that PNC Arena game. Like bringing their band even last year, which it still pisses me off that we didn't have a NC State pep band there, which I know. I messaged Coach Healy afterwards, like, "Where's our pep band band?" He was like, "I tried to get in touch with them." So that's one thing for sure is I'm going to take it upon myself a couple weeks ahead of time to really reach out to the marching band and be like, "We have a pep band coming for that game, right?" Because that we can't have the UNC pep band there and not ours there. But I mean, would you kind of agree with him though? I mean, it definitely seems like again, State's always had a great crowd at PNC Arena, but like it's very even now, man. Like there's a lot of chit chat back and forth between UNC and NC State fans now.
Yeah, I agree too. And like it's even got just like the size of people coming. I think every year, just the more it wraps around. Like, because I think when my first time I played on it, we just had like one side and we didn't even fill the full side. And now we're almost wrapping fully. And I think after that Carter Finley game, I think we might get upstairs too.
Yeah, well, of course. Yeah. No. Well, because at first they didn't even open up the upstairs, but I remember like we were like towards the top of the lower level, and my wife and I looked up and we saw these guys that were like leaning over the front row. We're like, oh, I guess we go up there. And so we're like, yeah, no, going upstairs is a whole lot, better view than even the top level of down below. So yeah, no, it was great. It was awesome. And again, I mean, there's no doubt that because again, the plan was originally that they weren't going to open up the upper level. But because so many people showed up, the facility said, "Yeah, open up the upper levels." So, I mean, again, that's awesome to hear. That basically blew all expectations out of the water. And then, correct me if I'm wrong, but the ACHL tournament is always at Winston-Salem, correct?
Yep.
Okay, cool. So that's a nice thing. Staying pretty local, things like that. That's awesome. So, kind of tell me, what are the goals for this year, man? Like, I mean, I know I've pretty much, said it all. I mean, feel free to kind of rebuttal, but, like what are the guys like, within like, you and, the guys, like not what Coach Healy's telling you, but what are the guys' goals, when you guys talk with each other? What do you want to achieve this season?
Yeah. We always have like objectives. We always have the PNC game and I always want to win that. obviously win the ACCHL tournament, and then
Mhm.
win out regionals into nationals, and then obviously the end goal is always the national championship. Um, but outside of
Yeah.
like that, I think, I mean, I personally, what I like having everyone do is always just like energy, no matter what. I always tell them on the bench, like, stay energetic, like, because I mean, it gets me going when we got like guys just yelling, screaming. I mean, you block a shot, or you just make a good play, and you're getting back to the bench, and
Yep.
everyone's hyping you up. So, I mean, I think if we have
Yep.
that and we have a good pace all year, I don't really see too many teams stopping us at all.
I like it. Yeah. And kind of talk to me too about you know, the crowd at Invisalign Arena. Like, I can't remember a game honestly, and from all the videos I watch back, everything I've heard from Coach Healy, there really hasn't been a home game in the last year or two where the stands have not been filled. I mean, pretty much every single game the stands are packed. You know, kind of talk to me in terms of the growth you've seen, like even walking around, maybe even campus among students, but the support growth that you've seen during your time in NC State, and talk to me about how much of an impact that full stands make. And I mean, because even adding to, like, I remember last year when you guys played at UNC at Hillsborough, Coach Healy was saying like how it was like 75% NC State fans still, even being at
Yeah.
UNC Stadium. So I mean, the support's been phenomenal, to say the
Yeah,
least.
I mean, every year, I mean, it's gotten bigger and bigger. When we first started my freshman year, we actually had a different rink. We were at RCI, and they didn't really have any
Mm-hmm.
stands, maybe like a couple. And it wasn't, I don't know really how many it fit, but it was just more just people on the glass. But I mean, ever since now, I mean, we're filling out the entire side of our stands, and then we're still wrapping around the glass. I mean, we've even extended it over to sides that they haven't even thought about opening it like a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
And then even with
Yeah.
like students, I mean, for that Carter Finley game, I had a couple like just like friend or like people like classmates that I don't really like talk to outside of class, and like they're telling me, "Hey, good luck and everything." And then after the next week after, everyone's coming up. It was awesome. Like everyone loved
I
it.
love it. Yeah. Well, I know for me, like it's funny that the side of the ice towards y'all's locker room, how behind the glass, behind the goal, they typically don't have that open or whatever to fans. But I mean, there's been a handful of times, and again, if I'm throwing myself under the bus, then whatever, where it's been so packed where I just said, you know what, I'm gonna just kind of sneak a little bit past these cones and just kind of hang out here. Just, I mean, that's how crazy it is. I mean, because I mean, literally, it's always funny that I feel like it's every single game I see like a couple of arguments that will take place because people will sit on the bottom row of the bleachers, but then people will stand along the glass. And so if you're sitting on the bottom row, but there's people on the glass, you're not going to be able to see the game. And so, that's always caused a couple of arguments to take place. But it is what it is. So,
Yeah,
I mean, that's why I definitely say, I mean, to everybody watching, if you haven't been to Icepack game before, show up early. The one thing which I will say is like typically the start time, and correct me if I'm wrong, Garrett, like I know for the ECU game, which is a 8:15 start time, that's typically when the warm-ups start, correct? Like usually the game itself doesn't start about 30 minutes after.
I
Am I
think
correct?
I want to say we take the ice at 7:45. I think the start time's 8:15,
Okay.
but I think our warm ups are at
Okay.
7:45, and then we have the cut in between,
Okay.
and then it starts out. I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong, but I'm
Okay.
pretty sure it's 7:45. We take the
Yeah.
ice.
Okay, cool. Now the one thing which I do got to ask though is what is it with the DJ's love with WWE theme songs? And if you've been to a game, you know what I'm talking about. But it seems like it's always a couple of WWE songs, like Brock Lesnar's theme song, or who else is it? But there's a couple. Like, have you ever
No,
asked about that, or like, do you know
no,
anything
I
about
don't know.
that?
I think it
Okay,
might just. I think they have like a preset of just like maybe an iPad of already loaded songs or music to go with it. So
okay,
yeah, I got
okay,
no clue. Only
okay,
thing I really got control
okay.
of was
But
that warm up, our warm up song. We kind of told them what we like, and they played it. So
Okay. That's what's up. All right, cool. And then the last thing which I want to ask you about, I know I kind of asked about, Hugo about this last year, but I know since you were in the locker, I want to get your feedback too. But I made it very clear to Coach Healy, being like, I don't know which game it's going to be, but there's no doubt I'm missing out an opportunity to do the starting lineup again this year, man. At some point during the pregame in the locker room, because that was a crazy experience, especially because Coach Healy literally, like, man, he made me so nervous before that, man. Like, I was going into that like pretty calm. Like I had kind of an idea of what I wanted to say, but I didn't necessarily know how long I would have to do my speech. And then once we got there, like Coach Healy started telling me these things here's like the nicknames for the players. Like I had to remember that. And then saying, okay, you got like 30 seconds. And I was like, oh crap. Like, I didn't necessarily expect for that short. And then he was saying about how the previous night, against UNCW, I think it was that the first round, that y'all beat.
Was it Virginia Tech? I think it was Virginia Tech.
Virginia Tech. How you guys had, somebody do it for, and he was like, yeah, he did a great job, and we won 9-1. So he was like, no pressure. And I was like, oh my gosh. So, and I didn't realize either how small that locker room was too, because that was the other thing too that got me nervous, was like there wasn't a lot of room.
Oh yeah, it's tiny there.
Like it was stacked on top. But I mean, I was pretty happy with how I did. I mean, I know Hugo told me I did great job of time, man. But I mean, going into this year, man, is there any improvements I can make, for this season, man? Like, I want to give an A+ effort, man. I want to make sure I lost this last one. I want to do everything I can to make sure that whatever speech I give, man, that it's going to result.
No, I thought it was perfect.
So give me feedback, man.
I gave it a 9.5 just because we didn't win, but you have no control over that. I mean, that was a good game. It was a 1-goal game, and I can't even tell you the last time we had a 1-goal game like that. 1-0, 1-0.
Dude, guarantee you that if you told me before the game that Penn State's going to score 1 goal, I said, all right, babe, we're selling the house. We're going to bet it on Icepack to win that game. There's no chance we lose that game. But, yeah, it was the craziest game. But, yeah. Well, good. I appreciate it. Yeah, no, that's good to hear. And I'll make sure that now I know that I got like 30 seconds, man.
Oh,
I'm going to come up with my win one for the Gipper, 30-second speech here. But anyway, man. Well, first of all, Garrett, I got to say once again, man, it was an honor. Thank you so much for coming on the show, man. So excited to see you guys play this year. So excited to see are we going to, I know last year we came out with these jerseys. So, I mean, are we going to be coming out with any other exciting surprises this year,
I don't know. I guess we'll see, but I don't really know right now.
Fingers crossed. Yeah.
We have some things planned, but I wouldn't say it's anything big like an outdoor game or like that.
Yeah. New jerseys or anything like that? No. All right. Fair enough. All right. Well, I mean, I think we got plenty of options to say the least, compared to most teams. So we're pretty lucky in that area. But yeah, Garrett, thank you so much again, man. Make sure again, Wolfpack Nation, go support these guys. I guarantee you, I don't care what it takes. I guarantee you, if you haven't been to a game before, show up. And if you somehow did not enjoy what you saw, come find me and I'll buy you your next drink or whatever it may be. I guarantee you, there's no doubt about it that you will love it. Simple as that. It is awesome. If you're an NC State fan, like, it is a great time to say the least. So make sure to come support these guys. A lot of games this season. Go check them out at Invisalign Arena, which is towards the airport, so very, very close. Again, there's food there, there's alcohol there. Like, there's no reason not to have a great time. And make sure to go follow these guys on social media, so that way you stay in touch with them. And then for us, make sure, again, if you haven't already gone and entered for our giveaway for the 2 tickets and the parking pass for the VMI football game this Saturday, make sure to go and do that. And also, just make sure, again, if you haven't subscribed to us already, make sure to go and do that. First and foremost, it's free to do. And again, we come out with all kinds of in-state content, whether it's live streams, episodes, vlogs, you name it. So, there's not a better place to watch some in-state content than right here with Tuffy Talk, y'all. And make sure, again, if you haven't already, give this video a like and give us a follow, Tuffy Talk, now on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. But we'll see y'all soon. We'll see y'all at some Icepack games, baby. And we'll see y'all there. And go Pack, y'all.